Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It has been a hella long time since I posted a video, and I actually recorded my project level up. I never posted it. I'm going to roll that first and then I'll come back to present day Steph. I have been gone due to exams, which is a usual, but if I pass these, if and when I pass these, that is it. All the compulsory exams for the last literal decade done. So let's roll the footage, and thank you so much for being patient, and then we'll come back for our next palettes. So for my level 1, I randomly selected the Dominic Latte one, and for level 1 you hit one pan and use every shade once. And then I'm going to be rolling on to level 2 today, and I have to hit 2 pans and use every shade twice. Most people go as far as level 5 and circle back. Last year I finished 3 levels and I was going on to level 4, so I would like to get to level 5, but anyway, and I'll show you where I am, as you will see, and I'll go through the uses because I have it on my phone. The formula is really, really nice. I did scrape the brown shade just this second, but the first shade is the shade Hazelnut, and I used it 3 times, and it was like a warm chocolate brown in my outer V. The second shade I used a good few times. It's such, they're mattes. Her mattes are so easy to blend. I used it 7 times. The vanilla cream shade, the cream one, I used 3 times, and then the cool tone dark chocolate brown in the shade Mocha I used twice. Pumpkin spice once, and then the second row I used espresso once. Now here we go. Okay, I used this second shade 14 times, the macchiato shade 14 times to hit pan, a combination of inner corner highlight and lid shade. I actually have it on my lid. Then creme brulee I used once. The next 3 shades I used once each. So I found her shimmers are more closer to satin in this palette than they are to like intense shimmer, where I can wear the macchiato shade to the office and not feel like it's too intense for my personal preference for my office. But it's not as satin and as subtle as a normal satin. But anyway, it's so easy to blend. Like, it's such a lovely palette. It's the Latte palette, and I'll randomly select the level 2 now. So I used 0.55 grams. I'm so happy. I used 0.55 grams. That's actually crazy. But what I really like is I had a goal to use the palette as a whole. So I used nearly all shades more than the required 1 time. And I'm really trying to use every shade in my collection as well this year, which should be an easy goal. But it is not, alas, it is not. So let's randomly select level 2. I actually love this palette so much. Dare I say, is it my favorite Huda Beauty palette? The bigger palettes, I have found that they are a nicer formula than the small ones. So I finally tested out that theory. I will weigh it, and I should show you a close-up. I do have a pan on the shade Love Stone, but is this not perfect for February? I have to use every shade, I have to use every shade twice and hit pan in 2 shades. I usually pick the shades. I mean, it's hard enough for me randomly selecting it, but God, I love this. This might take a while because, not that I would rush, but like, I would be less inclined to rush, I think, with this, because I tend to use this particular matte the most in terms of mattes, and like Energize would be a good shade to pick in terms of life, what would work. I tend to use this shade as my inner corner, but not only the lighter. It's like a split pan in a way, and only the lighter side kind of works as an inner corner for me. But I love these topper shades. This is going to be so much fun. I absolutely love this palette. I love this palette. I do tend to use the lightest shade Cherished as like a blending out shade. I'm so happy. Okay, so I had rolled in this. I'm hoping that the footage was okay. So I'd rolled in the Rose Quartz from Huda Beauty. I'm just gonna get my uses. So I needed to use every shade twice and hit 2 pans, and we've done it. It's taken a long time, but my makeup usage will increase because I'm back in the office on Monday. And I'm wondering, is it better to, what way it's better to do it? So if you have a preference on me reading the uses out loud or just having it over a photo, let me know. But I'm actually kind of not wanting to put this palette away. So let's just go through the uses. So the first shade, Quartz, I used twice. The next shade, Aura, I used 3 times. Then Gratitude was another 3. Cosmic Love I used twice, and oh, it's such a beautiful toppery type shade as well. You can like build it up for it to be a lot of its own pigment, but you can use it as a topper shade, and I'm loving like Super Shocks, toppery type shades, which is in Like Me. Then Empowered I used twice, and Joy I used twice. I have Joy on me today. It's really pretty. The next row, Precious, I've used 3 times, and then the one beside it I've used 3 times. The Sticky Love Stone I used twice. I used it on my eye and on my lips. Then the shade beside it I have used 9 times. Blissful I've used 3 times. Happiness 8 times. And then the last row, Mantra 4 times. Serenity 3 times. Abundance 2 times. Moon Magic, which I've hit pan on, and it's such a beautiful shade just to flip on with your finger. Like a no effort type scenario, and I have that hit in 6 uses. I wonder if I have a picture, I'll put it up here, but I wore this shade. I used to be someone who'd wear a load of eyeshadow, like I'd have multiple eyeshadows on, but I was going to like a Barbie, I was going to a Barbie, and I just used my finger and popped this on the lid, and I did like a winged liner, and I don't know, did I do it like with a blue, or if I did it with Mantra that's in this palette, but it was so pretty, and it flipped in the light, and it was just gorgeous, and I actually do not want to put this palette away. Radiate I used for 7 times, and then the last shade, Self Love, I have used 12 times. I've used Radiate 12 times, or Self Love 12 times, and it is a beauty. It is a beauty, and I love it so much. It's such a fabulous palette. I legitimately do not want to put this palette away. Like that Abundance shade is like a nude, a pink, like a mauve leaning brown nude. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I kind of don't want to put it away, so I'm going to leave it out. I should put it away, but I'm going to leave it out for now. So because, sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder, I am not used to filming, and I can just see, not clearly because the camera is like quite a bit away for me, but I can kind of see myself in that there-ish. And it's distracting because I'm moving. It's hard not to look at like something when it moves. Anyway, I'm going to roll in level 3 and level 4 because I'm going back to the office on Monday. The hours in which I'm not at home usually is quite considerable when I'm in the office. Like I leave at 5:30 in the morning and I'm not back till the night time pretty much. So I should get a lot more use out of makeup. So I'm thinking it might be beneficial to roll in level 3 and level 4, and I did the random generator on my phone downstairs before it came up because I was impatient, but I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see that I rolled it. Anyway, I don't know, I rolled this for level 3, so I have now got 53 eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I'll put up on the screen whatever I was at the start of the year, but I've gone down quite a bit. I count even like singles palettes and anything is counted as a palette. So I have 53 right now. I'm still overwhelmed. I went from 2 eyeshadow palette drawers in the Alex 9 unit. I'm now at 1, so I'm happy with that. But anyway, I rolled this in. This Z palette is from Dandelions Cosmetics, and when this was only available on Etsy is when I bought it, so I have it a long time. And this is what's in here. I'll have a close-up on the screen. So basically what's in here are JD Glow, or is it, yeah, JD Glow singles. So I'll have it on the screen and maybe I'll just call them out because I have them here. So the first shade is Fairy Acid, White Gold, Unexpected. I don't know why I even lifted that one up. Unexpected. And then we have Good God, and then the 2 purples underneath. The first one on the left is Plum, and the one on the right is Anomaly. These smaller pans of greens, they're from the Child palette. I decluttered the other shades in that palette, and then that big circular pan is from a Pat McGrath palette that I depotted, and I was kind of, it's actually magnetic, which is surprising because this pan came, like it took a bit of effort, it's kind of dinged up a bit, but that is magnetic, which was surprising. I was unsure whether or not to declutter that shade, so that's interesting. I have to use every single shade in here 3 times, and I have to hit 3 pans, and she's a beauty. It's a beauty. I don't know why I'm holding that up next to you, but and I'd be interested to see if I want to declutter that Pat McGrath shadow, because I do have shades like this, or at least I think I do, so I'm interested to see if I want to keep it because it takes up a good bit of space and it's such a unique shade. But anyway, I really like these shades here. I need to hit 3 pans in here and use every shade 3 times. I would like to hit pan in the big JD Glow ones because they're older than everything else. But I know I would probably get good use out of that child one here for the office. Like, I have to be a bit strategic because like I think I could pull this off and work. It's hard with my workplace to wear shades that aren't neutral. Sorry, but I think I can make it work. They're absolutely beautiful. I love every shade that's in here. So we have to hit pan in 3 shades. I don't know what they are. And we have to use every shade 3 times. And then, oh my God, and then I rolled in level 4, which I'll put up on the screen. But my level 4 is this conducive for work. I have to hit 4 pans in this and I have to use every shade 4 times, and it's the Smoke Sessions. Now, to be fair, this needs to get more use. It's just work, you know? Like, that's where I am all day, every day. That's my entire existence, is me going to work and come home again at this point. Well, not right now, but it usually is. So I've got to hit 4 pans in here. I actually do have this dark green shade on today as my like winged liner, like an attempt at a wing. It was like not really a wing, but I need to hit pan. I'm going to try and hit pan along the weed symbols because I keep dipping my brush there since when I got it. I do think that this shade will be one of them because I do like that as an inner corner shade. I think I could try and make this work for work. I don't think I can get this shade to be subtle in any way, shape or form for work. I do think these 2 mattes will work as like wings, like the outer corner I'll chance. Ooh, trying to make this work for work. Like, it's such a lovely palette. I do find the formula really hard to use, but the looks are always so pretty. They're always so pretty. So we will see. We will literally see. I do think that this first shade is definitely going to be one because I know that will work for work and in comparison to the rest. And I just really like that shade. I like all of the shades. I just mean it definitely will be, I can figure it out. We'll see. How am I going to pull this off? I don't know. And do you know what's really funny? I pulled 2 green leaning palettes. Like, literally. What are the odds of that, considering I don't have as many greens in my collection anymore? I'm glad that one of the palettes I rolled were singles. I just really like these JD Glow ones. I do really like these green ones. The only outlier in here is this Pat McGrath one, and it wouldn't be because I don't like it. It would just simply be because I have palettes, I have shades, I believe, similar to it. God, my lips are stinging me. What is on my lips? The Sexy Mother Pucker from Soap and Glory, which I wear a lot anyway, so why is it stinging me now? I do have more of it on than usual. Maybe that's it. But anyway, I need to hit 4 pans in this and use every shade 4 times. And there's what, 10 shades in this, or is there 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to hit pans in half the palette. And that is technically good because this palette needs to have use in it, because I was looking at it in my drawer and I did not want to declutter it because I love it so much, like the looks that come out of it. But I was like, I don't use this enough really though. But now I will have a reason to. This 3 shades. Now I guess I should put this away then. I've like hit the 2 pans. I just really like using it. You know what it could do? Okay, here's a plan. Here's probably, why do I always make things so hard on myself? Do you remember this palette that I got for Christmas in 2018, was it? I think it was 2018 Christmas. The Norvina from ABH. I really like it. It's been in this, like, in my projects just all the time. Since I've spoken to you last, I've actually depotted, like I've added shades into the empty pan, so it looks completely different. I'll put a close-up of it on the screen. The shades that are filled in are the first two on the bottom row, and on the top row, Celestial and Drama are new, added in, and those shades come from the Juvia's Place Warrior palette. I wore the Juvia's Place Warrior palette a lot last year in the office, and the shades that I kept from that palette were the ones I knew that I wore a lot and liked. But my God, guys, the one that I have filled the pans up so much more than what the ABH pans would be as their full state, because obviously there is a lot more product in those Juvia's Place pans. I didn't keep the mattes in the Juvia's Place because although I really like them, I do have a lot similar to it, and then the other shimmers I was like, meh, I can live without. So I do think that they're not all different shades. Like, I literally think two of the pans are the same shade. But anyway, I'm thinking this is leaning neutral. I might leave this in work and not pan, pan that palette is such a strong word, because I've done those in the past, and I panned my Urban Decay to completion, the Naked, the Modern Renaissance and the Subculture, and it takes such a long time, and this will be my priority, right? These two are the priority and this in between, so that we can just keep working away on this, because I love this palette. So I'm going to weigh this, I'll take a photo, put a close-up of it on the screen, but yeah, it's such a beautiful palette, and I like the shades that I added in, so I do. I love it. I love it. So now we have 3 palettes. I guess a Pan That palette and Project Level Up level 3 and 4. Don't do things in halves at this point, do I? So I will bring this into the office and I will keep you posted. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your patience, and I'll see you the next time. Take care. Bye.